in to ensure that there is a housing project in Suna East, because it will create hundreds, if not thousands, of job opportunities. Urbanization today, Honorable Speaker, will not be possible without an agenda like this in housing, Honorable Speaker. My good friends, Honorable Pio and I, and the others that we were in the National Dialogue Committee, including the Honorable Amina from Malindi, will tell you that economists of repute in this country, and including international economic institutes, appeared before the National Dialogue Committee and told us that for a country whose economy was in the doldrums that we found our economy in at the end of 2022, Honorable Speaker, for us to be able to get our economy working again, we must be able to massively invest and aggressively invest in huge. And I think, I can't remember, I think it was a gentleman from SID who told us that there is no other way of getting out of the economic mess that we are in other than a program that will aggressively and massively invest in huge infrastructural development. What greater opportunity, Honorable Speaker, than this housing agenda to raise money through the housing levy and through the housing fund to massively invest in infrastructural investments that will not only create an opportunity for millions of Kenyans to have affordable homes. Affordable homes, Honorable Speaker, as is required of us by Article 43 of our Constitution, but also homes with proper, and in the words, Honorable Speaker, of our Constitution, it says, with reasonable standards of sanitation. Reasonable standards of sanitation, Honorable Speaker, is what is happening in these projects, Honorable Speaker, at least even under the social housing. Even the studio units have a kitchenette, they have a reasonable toilet and bathroom, and, Honorable Speaker, even people in Kibra, people in Korogosho, people in Mathare will now have decent housing where they don't have to go through the indignity of having to use flying toilets, Honorable Speaker. We will give them dignified settlements where they can live as human beings. Honorable Speaker, not just people in our slum areas, even officers like our policemen and women. And I have had critics of this bill, Honorable Speaker, asking why we're not building houses for our police. And I see many, even members of parliament, Honorable Speaker, speaking on TV stations and asking why we're not building houses for our policemen and women. And, Honorable Speaker, we are the same people in this house who changed policy on how we provide housing for our policemen and women. Members know today they are not even able to build housing, staff quarters for policemen, because the police were given a housing allowance. But in this bill, Honorable Speaker, through institutional housing, and I'm glad the committee, in one of the amendments, I think to clause 3, Honorable Speaker, to clause 2, they have proposed, Honorable Speaker, to include institutional housing. And institutional housing, Honorable Speaker, now will come to cater for a very special category of Kenyans, students, Honorable Speaker, in our public universities. I think it's the Vice Chancellor of Technical University of Nairobi. Is it called Technical University of Nairobi? Former Kenya, Technical, Technical University of Kenya, the former Kenya Polytechnic. The Vice Chancellor, when speaking to the committee, was speaking to the horrible quarters that students are having to go through. And these students, Honorable Speaker, are our own sons and daughters who come from our villages, our own constituents, who come probably from very decent homes. But a student from Siaya, for instance, who has no other relative in Nairobi, is admitted to the Technical University of Kenya and has no other source of accommodation other than going to get some shack on a road reserve in South B, Honorable Speaker, with no sanitation at all. That student will not even have the dignity to live in a good city like Nairobi, and even will not be able to perform well in school. Whereas my child and your child, Honorable Junet, they will be able to move from our houses in Lavington and Karen and be able to commute every day. On the back left of our V8, dropped at Technical University and back home, we have an opportunity now to make sure that that child who comes from Suna East has affordable accommodation in Nairobi through the institutional housing. We must give an opportunity. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Junet says he lives in South B, not in Lavington. And he knows I know him, and he knows me. Honorable Speaker, I was speaking to not Honorable Junet, but to that Suna East constituent, who will come from Suna East, have an opportunity through institutional housing to get decent student accommodation that has been developed under this program. That child will be able to graduate from the Technical University of Nairobi University, or whichever university in the city, and be able to access social housing and buy a studio unit or a one-bedroom unit in South B, South C, or in Pangani,